So you guys are looking at two charging handles, both for AR-15 style rifle, or M16 or M4, what have you. And one of them is obviously a RADIAN Raptor, and the other one is has no name on it. Now this right here is made in China. It's supposedly made for airsoft, but this will work on the AR-15 as well. Real thing. I've been using this for a few months, and the only reason why I got this in the first place is because acquiring parts for accessories, etc., is kind of hard. It's not easy to it's not easy to come by. Excuse me. So while waiting for the real thing to arrive, I decided to get myself one of these because these are extremely cheap. Now, because I am a left eye dominant right-handed guy, excuse me, I would manipulate the charging of the rifle. I would shoot the rifle using my left hand because obviously I'm left eye dominant, right? And obviously when I charge it, I would charge it with my right hand. With normal charging handle, obviously it's on the left. Now that's a bit inconvenient for me, so I have to use an ambidextrous. Like I said, so while waiting for the real thing to arrive, I went ahead and ordered one of these Chinese airsoft charging handle. After buying this, I actually went and bought another one, which I assume was the authentic RADIAN Raptor, but in fact, after doing some confirmation with RADIAN from their Instagram account, I sent some of the pictures, and it confirmed that supposedly the RADIAN, not this one, the previous one that I bought with all the marking and everything else, it's fake. Okay, it was scarily similar with this one exactly. I'm not, it's like pretty much identical. The only exception is that one have marking and RADIAN, etc., etc. But that was marked as XTS, something like that. I forgot. I'll show you guys a picture of some of the pictures comparison. So while doing that video, I was looking at it. It's like scarily the same. It was like pretty much the same thing. So I was suddenly thought could be one of those American brand have their stuff manufactured in China. For sure, these two are not manufactured in the same place. At least it doesn't look like one, okay? Now, obviously, if you compare this side by side, there are similarities, but they are quite different. First of all, the chamfering on the handle itself, as you guys can see, this one is chamfered, right? And this one isn't, right? Now, the Chinese also comes with a lot of different styles. This one happens to come with this thicker profile of the handles, but as I'm aware, some of the Chinese ones are actually quite thin. I think those have some issues breaking while used in a real firearm. Also, the telltale differences are this roll pin. The previous supposedly real RADIAN charging handle also have this kind of roll pin, and the real thing comes like this. Okay, it's metal color, silver, whatever. I'm not sure if the real thing actually comes with this hole as well, but I know this too. Well, this one doesn't have that hole. Okay, and let's look at the underside of it. Everything else, some of them actually look quite similar, but if you look close enough, they are different. Like this one, for example, right? The holes, etc., etc. The only reason why I'm suspecting things could be that way is because in many industries, knives, spinners, even firearms, I'm not saying this one, and many other stuff, a lot of the time consumers are told that this and that are made in the US or Europe, etc., etc., but in fact they had their parts, some parts, at least a few, quite a large percentage of the parts manufactured in somewhere else. Could be China or somewhere else. Now, China being China, they do not necessarily hang on to what their, the contract is saying. So, for example, the manufacturer ordered 100 of them made, and then they probably obviously have a bit of extras, for mistakes or whatever. And in most cases, being Chinese, they would sell those or actually purposely make more of the production and have them sold as either fakes or whatever, right? Or they could obviously the manufacturer of the factory have all the CAD files for the designs and mechanics, etc., etc. They could easily use some other inferior material and manufacture something that scarily looks similar, but they aren't, because, for example, I'm not saying this is, but for example, RADIAN ARMS specify, let's just say they manufacture this in China. Let's just say, I'm not saying they are, okay? I'm pretty sure this is made in the US. Let's just say they specify they have to be this type of aluminium and etc., etc. It have to be this kind of coating. Obviously, if that's the case, Chinese would make the same exact thing but with inferior aluminium and cheaper quality of finishing, and market it as fakes, etc., etc. That's the way the Chinese people, well, not the Chinese people, but people in mainland China do business. Not all of them, but many do. All right, there's also telltale differences. This is the real thing and this is the fake one. So that part right there is different, okay? Let's see the front part of this. It's also noticeably different. Quite similar, but they are different, okay? Pretty similar, but like I said, they are not the same. All right. Now the finishing is the obvious. Obviously, it's quite different as well. I bought this used. Obviously, this held up quite well, the finishing. And as you guys can see, this has a lot of wear marks. I'm not familiar whether that's a normal wear mark, if that's pretty standard on AR-15s or not. I'm not sure, but at least from what it looked like, the finishing on the real thing actually looks so much better and tougher. And the tension on the pole for this is also much tougher in comparison to this one. This is so much lighter. It could be a good thing or a bad thing. Regardless, I'm pretty sure this will hold up much stronger than this Chinese one, obviously, right? Because this is obviously made with quality and standard, I guess. All right, so that's a quick video from me about this charging handle. Just beware, because I was fooled once thinking I got the real thing, because I actually asked the seller locally here, and I'm pretty sure he's not trying to scam me. I'm pretty sure it's either he's the one that got scammed from the supplier, or he didn't know at all. But I was thank God I told the guy, and then I have my money refunded, have this stuff shipped back to him. But just be cautious, just be cautious. I was lucky I got my money back. It's not that much money, but it still pisses me off if I lost that money. But anyways, that's that. Just be careful what you're getting. It's one thing to actually decide for yourself that you want to buy a Chinese one and pay a fraction of the money, and another thing to actually get scammed, by a fake product selling as the real thing. All right, so thank you so much, guys, for watching. Appreciate your time. Please hit the like and subscribe button, and I'll see you guys next time. God bless. Bye bye.